Alright everyone, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, playing as the Japanese Empire, and we are continuing on. We are in January 1914. We still have 7 months. July 1914 is when World War I would kick off. Now, in the context of World War I, we all know the general history, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, leading as the spark that lit the keg that was Europe at this time. Now, a lot of people tend to kind of associate this being the only event. That's not true. There have been multiple altercations and other situations that have developed over the course of this time period. For example, the Franco-Prussian War being actually one of the biggest contributors at why Germany and France go at it. A lot of people don't realize that war was a big sticking point between the two, because the Germans handed the French their asses so spectacularly that the French wanted revenge. This situation here with Franz Ferdinand being assassinated in Serbia was just the what's the word I'm looking for? That was just the impetus for everybody to just kind of go at it. It was like, oh, hey, now it's time to let those old grievances take over and just beat the shit out of each other. Now, in the case of the Japanese would be pulled into World War One. My bad. World War One via the Japanese Anglo-Japanese Alliance, whatever the hell the alliance was actually called. That was signed in 1902. So we've had quite a bit of time, 12 years, since the alliance between Britain and the Japanese had been signed. Now, the contribution to the war that the Japanese would commit to would be taking control of the German colonies in the region. We're actually going to recreate that, because fuck it, I want to take some German lands too. But we're also going to be attacking the French just for shits and gigs, because fuck it, whatever. At this point in time, I just want to play the game. I want to have some fun. Real quick, hold on, let me look at this. So we have that. We have the Kabas. So yeah, the initial engagement would be the Siege of Tsingtao, in which the Japanese would actually be the first ever people to use sea-launched aircraft to launch ground attacks on Tsingtao. Mainly focused on communication centers and communication lines and so on and so forth, because, again, during this time period, telegraph and a few other things are still heavily being used in this region of the world. And, well, hell, telegraph was still being used in across most of the world at this point in time. Phone lines hadn't truly been laid. Telegraphs were the main method of communication still. But the point is, first to ever do it. The siege, I believe, would last roughly about 2 months, if I remember correctly. Hold on, let me just reference this real quick. Yep, September to November. Yep. So 2 months of a siege, and the Germans would surrender at Tsingtao. These air attacks would also be launched somewhat against ships as well. I believe there was a Austro-Hungarian cruiser that was attacked, along with a German mine layer, and I believe they actually sank the mine layer, if I remember correctly. So, first operational use of aircraft launched by ships, the Siege of Tsingtao. The Japanese would then go on to occupy the rest of the German colonies in Southeast Asia, here in Polynesia, and would then hold those for the remainder of the war, and would hold these until the end of World War II, actually. Now, contributions to the front over here would be much more limited. Now, I'm kind of happy that I built the Kabas when I did, because technically speaking, the Kabas would actually be sent to the Mediterranean. You would have a flotilla leader. I believe I don't remember the name of the cruiser, the Akazushi, I believe. Hold on, let me reference back to the Akashi. Sorry, the Akashi. The Akashi, and then a series of the Kaba class would be sent over to the Mediterranean to perform escort duty for convoys going between Europe and Egypt and whatnot. And then eventually the expedition would be reinforced with more destroyers. And if I remember correctly, only one of these ships was ever lost to a German submarine. It was one of the destroyers. And for all intents and purposes, one of the most successful escort operations in the world, next to the North Sea convoys, or the Arctic convoys going to Russia during World War II. So, hyperly successful operation overall. Now, the British would attempt to get the Japanese to loan them the Congo-class battlecruisers. Thank God the Japanese told them no, as evidenced at the Battle of Jutland, because holy shit. But the point is that there would be attempts to loan or attempts to get the Japanese to loan more forces and whatnot. The Japanese, to their credit, realized, like, okay, we can send some stuff, but if we start sending a shit ton, like, it's going to just become a problem. There are actually questions in regards to the Gallipoli campaign, if because there were some writings about Gallipoli and about the Turks and whatnot, if the Japanese could send forces to assist against them. The Japanese, if I remember reading what I read correctly, they weren't approached about it directly, but it was kind of like one of those, hey, what's your feelings about this, kind of deal. Like, they weren't asked explicitly if they would do it, but they were definitely probed about it, because the Japanese, again, one of the larger fleets of this time period, could offer quite a bit to the Mediterranean, because if you could take even 50% of our navy and put it into the Med, it would basically control the Med, like, across the board. So World War I was kind of a interesting war as well, because a lot of people, it's kind of the forgotten war to a degree. A lot of people, they talk about the forgotten war being the Korean War, and it's actually really funny, because I'm like, I remember Korea better than I remember World War I on most cases, simply from the perspective of Korea was later. Like, I kind of remember it because it's closer to my time frame. In the case of World War I, a lot of people, they tend to be very unaware of certain things that were going on during this time period. Like, for example, the Turks and the Greeks, that the whole dynamic between those two, like the British trying to get the Greeks to offer a front against the Turks, the Austrians being in this state of stability the first year of the war, but then after that they basically fell apart almost completely and barely kept it together until the end of the war. The Italians being kind of bullied into the war. Now, of course, the Italians, they thought they were going to be able to get a little more out of it. The A lot of people ask, why did the Italians join the Axis the second go around? Well, it's because the Italians got screwed over. The Italians got really screwed over during this time period. They basically didn't receive any of the concessions that they wanted. The Baltic states, they wanted a good chunk of this territory. They wanted basically old Dalmatia, because this would allow them to start reestablishing what was considered the old Venetian Republic, and they were using the heritage of the Venetian Republic to kind of build up this idea. But the problem is that it just wasn't being respected whatsoever. Like the French and the Brits definitely, well, let's just say World War II rolled around, and if you know anything about the history, you're not surprised whatsoever that the Brits and the French were so hated. You're not surprised, because holy crap. Now, in the case of the Africa campaign, it was a Benny Hill episode, basically. God damn it! Why can I never remember the guy's name? The German Navy captain that came down here, he fucking did a bunch of raiding and then beached his ship, went on land, and then proceeded to fight a guerrilla campaign here in Africa. Basically the guy, Germany has South Africa. I just saw that. Oof. Oh, Britain, what have you done to yourself? Oh no. But yeah, the point is that the Germans, they gave the runabout to the French and the Brits in Africa. The Africa campaign wasn't really that. There wasn't really anything major going on here, but it was, again, it was basically a Benny Hill episode. It was, hey, we're going to force you to dedicate enough resources here that it's going to be a problem for you. And it was. Like, it was a huge problem. Like, there were communications going back and forth between the French and the British, that basically were along the lines of, look, if you don't fucking solve the problem soon, we're going to fucking solve it for you, and then we're going to take more. There was actually a bit of derision between the French and the Brits in regards to Africa because of the German effect. Then, of course, you have the Middle East. If you know anything about the history of the Middle East up to this point, you understand that the Brits are heavily, heavily interested in this region due to the oil reserves. This is Britain's main primary source of oil, going into the mid 20th century, and even now, like even in the modern day, this is Britain's main source of oil. And so they want to have their hands in this cookie jar as hard as they fucking can, which is why they were so what's the word I'm looking for? They were so interested in being involved with this. Of course, you have the Palestine, Transjordania situation with the Brits. I believe Lebanon was also a British colony at this point in time. Syria was a French colony, if I remember correctly. So, that's kind of how that partition began. And then in the case of the Arabians were, they were quote unquote, given their own country and everything, but it was a controlled state. It was literally, the Brits, they wanted access to that oil, and they weren't going to allow that oil to exist without them having their hands in the cookie jar. So, also, real quick, special mention to Malta. There's actually a memorial. The one destroyer that was lost from the Japanese lost by the Japanese from the German torpedo attack. There's actually a memorial here in Malta to that ship and crew, and to the Japanese Navy as a whole for their service during those operations. All right, so let's go ahead and get rolling. we got, and they should take 2 months to commission or so, hopefully. So hopefully we'll be able to get some decent, get these out before we go to war. Again, we're gonna take some time to break our relations with the Germans. And also, after filming Monday's video, yes, I did learn that, I fucked up on the Fuso layout. Yes, there were in fact 2 smokestacks on the original form of the Fuso. I was looking at a diagram of the refit. I didn't realize, because the diagram didn't have any of the anti-aircraft guns on it. And so it had the one smokestack, but didn't have any of the AA guns that were put on the refit of the Fuso. So that's just a mistake on my part. It's not like a big deal. So I'm not gonna let it bug me too much. Yes, Colombia, I will build you destroyers. Oh, well, the Germans are being obstinate. I want to kill you. I want to eat you. Let me eat you. God damn it. Let me eat you. We're also going to go ahead and we're going to poke relations with the Spanish. I'm going to start us a world war. See if we can seize those colonies real quick as well. As soon as we get let me look at my chart again real quick. By the end of 1918, we have to have 16.5. Yeah, 16.5 for tonnage for the destroyers. So we will just continue letting that run. And then in regards to light cruisers, we have the Tenryu and the Kuma that we'll be building, which I don't know if we'll be able to build those with the proper tonnage, but we'll see. Actually, hold on. We got to see what hulls we have available. So we still only have Light Cruiser 3. It's not really... Because the Tenryu, if I remember correctly, hold on, let me... Tenryu, where are you? Oh, here we go. Alright, so these are definitely not flat deckers. They've got a forecastle on them. So technically speaking, this hull would work, but it's not. It's not a flush forecastle like the Tenryu would have had. So maybe, just maybe, hopefully we'll be able to get a cruiser hull that kind of more matches the Tenryu. Now, of course, a lot of people, you guys, I know you guys are interested. We will be building ships that are canceled and whatnot. So, like in the case of the Tenryu, they only built 2 of them out of a planned 8. They canceled 6 of them. We will be building all 8 because we're able to. We have the money. All right. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're also gonna focus some light cruiser stuff as well. We also need to focus a lot. We need to do a lot. But because we have oil-fired burners, our oil-fired boilers and steam turbines. We're doing pretty good in engines. We got good power to weight ratios. We've got good fuel to weight ratios. So we're doing good in that regard. We already poked them. Let's go ahead and run this. All right. Still got 4 months on those guys. Let's also poke the Germans while we're doing this. Army, please. Please. It's free territory. Please. It's gonna look so stupid. But you know what? I don't care. I just want it. Oh, terrible borders are terrible. Yes, Belgium, I will build you destroyers. Yes, my favorite crimes against humanity state. I will happily build you destroyers. Oh man, I'm just gonna say this right now. Look up the Belgian colony of Congo, and for wait, they actually have the OFS as Boers. Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's awesome. That is awesome. That's just cool. If you're, I'm a Boer enjoyer just like anybody else. Anybody who actually understands what the Boer state was like and what they were about, you understand why. But yeah, no. For the faint of heart, don't look up the Congo colony of Belgium. But if you've got the stomach for reading about the shit, then go ahead, look it up. Choppy choppy. Oh man. And it's hilarious. Like, it's actually hilarious for me that the Japanese, you know, the Japanese get shit on constantly for their treatment of POWs and for the experimentations and all the Unit 737 or whatever the hell it's called. They get all this shit. They get all the smoke for that. And then Belgium never gets talked about. Not a peep about Belgium. And it's like, I wonder why. Just wouldn't happen to have anything with a funny little city right here that happens to be the headquarters of one of the largest military alliances in history, would it? Would it? I wonder what it could be. Yes, Colombia. My favorite supplier of booger sugar. I will build you more destroyers. Oh god. Oh god. Apparently, I'm in a mood today. Oh, battle cruisers. Interesting. Still haven't gotten my next cruiser hull. Okay, got it. Thanks, game. Well, actually, it raises a question. What would be the next battle cruiser? It'd be the Amagis, right? Yeah, 1920s, 47,000 tons, running at a blistering 30 knots, which, if you think about it, like, it's actually quite freaking fast. Like, it's actually obscenely fast. Let's go check out that hull. See what it looks like. A lot of people don't they look at 30 and they don't think it's a big number, but it's like actually that's pretty good. That's pretty solid. Definitely definitely not a walk in the park pace. All right, so Battle Cruiser 3. All right, all right. She's looking snazzy. 31,000 tons, so definitely not the Amagi. Honestly speaking, though, probably would serve as a good basis. Hold on, let me. No, she doesn't have the pagodas. Because that's what I was thinking at first. I'm like, oh, she might actually serve as a basis for a rebuild of the Congos. Because that's the thing that I'm thinking in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, hey, I can rebuild some of these ships to be their modern forms later on down the line. But no, that looks like a solid hull too. What speed we rocking at here? 30 knots. So good speed. Good speed. We like that. What's the max armor on this bad boy? 10.7. I could get it a little higher with better armor. So if we, oh, okay. So, generally speaking, you can the integer will increase with the higher tier armors on most ships. It'll get like a little like 0.1 or zero point 0.2 boost. So with our current armor, it's still 10.7. But honestly speaking, like it's not bad armor for something like let me actually kind of give you guys a little breakdown of this game real quick because I've actually started to learn quite a bit about the armor protection in this game. Armor protection is broken down into two categories. If you have no speed, you need more armor. If you have more speed, you need less armor. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to guns. So, like, say for example, if I was let's just build out a theoretical ship real quick. So let's put this bad boy to 30 knots. Let's just build out a theoretical ship real quick. Because I'm actually like really down with showing you guys this shit because this just makes us all better players, in my opinion. So we don't have to put a barbette on there because we can superimpose the guns like that. So we can do that. We could do really. So I can do the tall funnel can't go on there, but the large funnel can. Okay, interesting. Rather. See, it really annoys me that we can't get. All right. How about this? Could we do that? Yeah, let's do that. Now, can we put a 14-inch battery right there? Bring this bad boy back as much as possible. And mind you, I'm just seeing if I can do this. Wait, do I need to use an enlarged barbette for this? Yeah, apparently so. Alright, that battery's not going to work. So we'll just do it like this. Yeah, that's still a respectable. Actually, we could probably really make this fun if we do it like this. Didn't say it had to be sane, just said it had to work. And hell, we can even do this. Yeah, we could do something like that. But okay, so now that we've got this general layout done, so here you go, 30 knots, insane freaking range, and mind you, we haven't even strapped the armor on and everything, but we can still get a really good range out of it, and even better once we get full oil boilers. You have 10 barrels of 14-inch hatred flying at you, and this thing is running at 30 knots. Mind you, you're not going to get the overtime degradation of speed and maneuverability because you're not using coal. So crap, I forget what the term for the guys who are doing the shoveling down below. I forget what the term for them is. But you're not having guys slow down from being tired. You are starting to get a situation where it's like, oh hey, we can just keep moving and we can keep these combat speeds, no problem whatsoever. So 10 inches of armor on this thing right here, which I'm actually really liking this side profile. That looks cool as fuck. That looks cool. I like that a lot. Don't ask me why. I can't tell you why. I just like it. But this ship right here, it's rolling at 30 knots, could absolutely obliterate whatever the fuck it shoots at. Like, no problem whatsoever. Like, this thing would absolutely murk whatever the hell it's shooting at. And it doesn't matter that it has 10 inches of armor on the belt, because anything that's capable of keeping pace with it and hitting it isn't really going to be able to contend with 10 inches of belt anyways. Unless it's one of those weird heavy cruiser designs that's running a little faster, that's rolling like 9, 10, 11-inch guns, which even then, this thing can kill that thing even quicker. So this right here, like, I have gained a new appreciation from my playtesting of Japanese, or not Japanese, but just battle cruisers in general, because I'm like, oh wait, they definitely have a place. They definitely have a place. And again, this profile is just sexy. Like, I know a lot of people are probably like, oh my god, like, why don't you superimpose this gun? And I'm like, it's doing good. And anyways, like, if I just give it an angle like this, that third gun can still hit. Like, if I'm running away from something, I can still shoot. This is the, I can catch you, and then if I need to, I can run away, and I can still hurt you. Now, that's a nice little design. I like that. I like that a lot. Japanese bros, I have a ship layout for you. Enjoy. No, I love just taking a look at some of these hulls, especially as I've decided that I want to do the document with the uh, with the stats and everything of each of the hulls, which I'm still trying to decide if I want to include all the stats, if I wanted to go full bore with it. I'm still trying to decide on that because I'm like, oh no, there's so much. There's so much. I'm tempted to wait until next patch because they're adding a bunch of hulls in, and so there's probably going to be a lot of changes. So I'm tempted to wait until the next patch. But July 1914, World War One has officially begun, and oh hey, look at that! Germany's invading Russia. Oh god, fuck! It's happening, boys. It's happening. They're invading Russia. Oh no. Oh lordy lord. Oh shit. Uh, Germans, they never learn. All right, we got three. So it was a three-turn commission. So we got two more turns on that. Actually, let's make sure because I completely forgot about doing this. Let's keep poking the enemy. Yeah, if we poke them one time, we're probably gonna actually get the war we don't want right now. I want all my forces ready to go before I even press that button. It's like, oh my god, no, the Russians are taking all the Chinese territory. Uh, Fuck, I'm gonna have to declare war on Russia to take this territory. It's not good. No. No. Damn it, Army, why do you do this to me? Why? Why? Why do you hate me so? Fucking bastards. All right. And we officially have our 8 battleships, 8 battle cruisers, our 8 heavy cruisers that are still kicking because might as well. 16 light cruisers, 10 destroyers, 53 torpedo boats. We're running a pretty decent fleet. Like, overall, we have a very balanced fleet. We're not leaning into one thing too heavily or the other. We have a very balanced fleet. We have 3 pretty good freaking task forces that we can pull in for invasions and combat and whatnot. We have an independent, our battle cruisers. They act independently of the fleets and are able to run around and just be a nuisance. And now let's go ahead and let's poke the French because, well, hey, we're about history here, but we're also, this game is horribly ahistoric. Let's go. Let's go take a bunch of freaking GDP. Oh my god, it's just grown. What are they at now? 1.5 trillion. Holy crap. What the fuck, dude? We have half, just, oh my god. Look at the disparity. Look at the disparity. And we're about to declare war on this. We're about to declare war on this. And the disparity. Oh my lord. What's going on here? Oh yeah, that's right. The Fusos couldn't match up with their fleet in port. That's right. All right, so let's make sure everything is good. Yep. All right, these are the Congos. Where are the Ibukis? Oh, they're in Tsingtao. Okay. So the Ibukis are in Tsingtao. The Congos, again, the Congos and the Ibukis will be acting as an independent force to just create problems. Which, actually, you know what? Because I honor my Congos, I'll do this for, like, specific classes just because it's easy. But let me just make sure I spell them correctly. And thank you to whoever, or let me, not whoever, but thank you to everybody, because there were a few of you, that told me I could actually change the names. I was not aware of this. So, yes, we have the Congo sisters, and everything is good in life. Everything is proper. Because we only want proper in this town. Alright, so let's see. Can we get the French to hate us? Can we get it? Let us have war! "'Tis good stomping." Destroyer 3, which officially makes those obsolete. Alright, so not quite the war yet, but very close. Might actually get it naturally. Let's poke the Germans again. Well, we just need to be poking all of them. Poke, 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 poke. I like getting in trouble. Poke, 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 poke. I just won't, like, it would be hilarious if this series just ended now because, like, oh, hey, we lose a massive war. Actually, let's just guarantee we get the war. Let's go. Let us have war. Shall meet them on the battlefields. I just love how there's a donut. It's like, oh, Russia, you dealing with what I was dealing with? Alright, so 1500. As soon as we get to 16.5, we'll go ahead and we'll cut that off for a little bit. And then cruiser-wise, oh yes, you might be noticing some weirdness going on with my mouse. I have been playing around with having, I forget what it's a mouse setting on Windows where if you hold down the button long enough, it will just naturally hold down the button. Or just automatically hold the key down. I am doing that on purpose. So don't worry. It's not some weird thing that's going on like, oh my god, what's going on? It's on purpose. Alright, so that's kind of a weird hull. Oh, I kind of don't like it. I kind of hate these ones. These weird, like, German-esque hulls. Because the Germans definitely had some weird ones. Hold on, let's look at destroyers. Alright, what would be the first destroyer that we'd be building? The Isakaze. So let's make sure we... Yeah, this is nothing like the Isakaze hull. Alright, so we're going to have to do it in the theme of... Yeah, I hate this. I just despise it. I spit on you. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can build this out. So 34 knots. What was the gun layout like on this bad boy? Okay, so 3 smokestacks. I uninstalled World of Warships and alright. Isokaze class destroyer. And of course a bunch of anime shit shows up. Okay, so this looks like it was a refit of the Isokaze. Oh no, this was another ship by the name Isokaze. Okay. Actually, this hull would actually be of the new kamikaze destroyers. Oh, okay. Okay. I just looked at it. So the kamikaze would have something like this. So it would have this funnel. It would have this funnel. Put in a barbette right here for this gun. And then the tower would be back here, for example. Put down. Actually, I kind of prefer the square barbette. Ah, okay. I did not mean to delete that. But if we go like something like that, boom. And then unfortunately when it comes to spacing, but yeah, it would be something like this for the torpedo layout. Let's see if I can just open that up just a little bit. I don't know how. What's the tonnage of the kamikazes? Six 1720. Oh god. So yeah, this would effectively be the new kamikazes right here, effectively. Which, if I maxed out the tonnage, I think I could get the actual armament on here. Actually, let me... Now I'm just fucking around just for shits and gigs. Okay, so those 2 torpedo batteries are all behind the smokestack. And then in... Then could I make them... What size torpedoes? They were 18-inch. So if I can make them 18-inch torpedoes... Oh, yep, those are 18-inch. Yep, there's the kamikaze. that is literally the kamikaze right there. This is what this hull's meant to be, is the kamikaze. So, in reality, the Isukaze would be the previous hull. So I'm going to have to do something themed after the Isukaze here in order to achieve that, because we're not going to be able to get the actual hull now, but it's unfortunate, but it's kind of just how it is. But yeah, that's the kamikaze. Awesome. We now know this. It looks cool. Like, I actually, like, it's funny. Like, honestly speaking, this is not how I would set this destroyer up, and I would hate it. I would despise it, because I would just be like, oh, how do I use this? Now that I actually set it up, like, as a historical ship, this looks cool as fuck. Like, this looks dope. Like, holy crap. I love it. Like, this actually looks really cool. So, yeah, no, this is definitely one of those hull types that you need to use the historical-esque configuration on. And this thing would probably fuck. Like, it probably is going to fuck. Like, it's going to be hilarious to watch it kind of do its thing. I kind of wish I had a better arc on that. Yeah, that's a much better arc. So yeah, no, yeah, right there, boom. And then could we put these bad boys up to 4.7s? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We like that. We like that. There you go. 4.7s. We like that a lot. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's cool right there. So, all right. So the Isokazes we'll have to do a thematic build for, I guess. You see, that actually raises the question: what does the Mitsuki look like? All right, hold on. All right, so the Mitsuki looks kind of like the... So the... wow, okay, that's... Because the Fubuki is where you start getting the newer hulls. So the Kamikaze, the Mitsuki, the Minakaze will do... Okay. We're going to have to kind of build all of these at the same time just to be able to get the proper hull form. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep actually trucking along. Well, actually, let's hold off on this for right now. Let's hold off on that for right now. Let's just leave it. It's all good. It's all good. We will get there. We will endure. Okay, so cruiser-wise, politics-wise, all right, we did everything we need to. All right, let's get ourselves in a war so we can actually fight something. Get ourselves fully prepped and fully ready. Oh, wait, we are, because the fleet has been assembled. Assemble the fleets! Ah, yes. 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 All right. So, I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to cut this one off here. We'll start doing all the fancy smanchy fighting in the next episode. However, make sure, guys, to head on over to the Discord. Link is down in the description. to hang out. We can chill, chat. There's several games that we're going to be playing in co-op. We have Gates of Hell Ostfront. We have 7 Days to Die. I have the 7 Days to Die server that I'm running. We're going to be playing Foxhole, which if you are interested in learning what Foxhole is, really cool game. I recommend checking out some other YouTubers that have videos up already. Freak has amazing guides if you're interested in actually getting into the game and learning how to play. Freak has some amazing guides already out there. And most of his stuff is still relevant, even if it's a year old or something like that. It's still relevant to the game. We are also going to be trying to check out some other games as well. I might be reinstalling World of Warships. I might be reinstalling World of Tanks, War Thunder, etc., etc. So if you guys are interested in checking that out and playing with me, go ahead and head over to the Discord. Also, I want to make a mention to the overall schedule. I'm still trying to figure things out, but I will be making an announcement on that for the next video on not the next video, but next Monday's video, this coming Monday. I will be making the announcement on what I'm going to be doing with the new schedule and everything. It will still be the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule with the Sunday co-op videos, but I'm going to be changing some stuff around. Also, make sure, guys, to when you join the Discord, there are no roles or anything like that. Things are kind of just open. I'm still trying to decide on a bot to use, but in the future there will be a bot added to the Discord, which will be hitting you guys up with all the information for everything that's going to be going on over there. So make sure to keep an eye on for that when eventually that stuff does start getting added. And for the guys who have joined the Discord so far, I love you all. Have a good one. And to the rest of you that still need to join the Discord, I still love you. Get on the Discord, damn it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.